Good afternoon. My name is Marvin Sebastián. I'm level 16th, and now I'm going to talk about adversity. Adversity is a situation in life or work considered critical or adverse, must be reinterpreted by the one who is suffering. A crisis is a moment of danger, but at the same time, it is the new path or opportunity to take a new path, which without having gone through that moment, we would never have decided to start. What are the advantages and disadvantages of adversity? A person who is interested in succeeding must learn to see failure as healthy, as an inevitable part of the process of getting to the top. Adversity and the general result from it should be expected in the success process and viewed as totally vital parts of it. Adversity develops maturity. Adversity can help us get better if we don't allow it to make us bitter. Why? Because it promotes wisdom and maturity. We learn and grow. In his book, Talent is Overrated, author Jeff Colvin identifies how the world's top performers in music, sports, and business made their way to the top. He found that those who were able to become world-class in their field practice for thousands of hours in what he calls the learning zone. The learning zone is when you are challenging yourself just beyond your current abilities. If you're not challenging yourself enough, then you will not improve. If you challenge yourself too much, then things will be too hard to make any substantial improvements. So we must take on challenges with just enough adversity that we are forced to learn and grow. But no, but not so much that the task is impossible. We learn our true limitations. If we don't face adversity, we will never know what we can accomplish in life. If Lucas had said from the beginning that he will only do Star Wars if he has complete control over the movie, it would have never been made. He had to face that adversity in the beginning in order to make his mark on the world. How do you act when you have a difficult situation? Do you give up? What kind of attitude or character is most helpful in overcoming obstacles? Why? Take on adversity. Take on adversity is easier said than done. If we don't approach adversity in the right way, we will feel overwhelmed, stressed, and anxious about our abilities. When it comes time for us to rise to the challenge, a voice inside of us will give us every excuse in the book to back down. The reason this happens is because we have an innate fear of the unknown to our ancestors. Venturing into the unknown could be the difference between life and death. So our brains involved to prevent us from making ourselves vulnerable. To overcome, to overcome this fear, we must break up the challenge into small, manageable chunks by shifting our focus from the overwhelming challenge to simply what we need to do next. We reframe our brain's perspective and make the whole thing less scary. This will lower the stress and anxiety produced by my brain, which will give me more confidence to take on adversity. This is a simple technique, but it is extremely effective. The stress and anxiety and fear of taking on adversity comes from being overwhelmed and afraid of the unknown. So if we cannot make it step simple and manageable, we will have more confidence and willpower to take it on. Here are some of my ideas to face the adversity. Or to get my life on track where I want to go. The adverse situation may be temporary, dreaming about a moment when I will get out of the problem. Think about a person who has faced adversity. What was his name? What was his attitude towards the problem? In which ways did he overcome it? What do you think about this person? What can be learned from this person? His name is Stephen King. King's first novel, Carrie, was rejected by 30 different publishers. He was so upset that he threw the novel into the trash until his wife later finished out of and encouraged him to finish it. King's books have now sold over 350 million copies, and Care has become a classic novel with many film and TV adaptations to its name. King's story shows that sometimes people just a little bit of encouragement to overcome two obstacles in their lives. What I think of this important person is that in addition to falling once, with the help of his family, he has able to continue. So it is an example to follow because if we fall once, we can get up and continue. With the help of our family, we can continue no matter how difficult could it be. We will have more opportunity in the life. Conclusion. Dealing with adversity is frightening. It can make us vulnerable, expose our weaknesses, and set us up for failure. But even more frightening is what happens when we choose to avoid adversity. Without adversity, we can't learn, we can grow, and we cannot find out what our true limitations are. Then, when we look back on our lives, we will always wonder, what if? Choosing to rise to the challenge of adversity is not easy, but it can be done. If we break up the huge challenge that we are taking on into small, manageable chunks, we will find the process less overwhelming. We will gain confidence with each step we take, we take towards our goal. Then eventually we may just make our own masterpiece. Thank you so much, teacher, for giving me the space to talk about adversity.